Hello again, everyone. Last time, we talked about different types of numbers. One way we can visualize all real numbers is with a number line, like this. The arrows at each end indicate that the number line continues forever in each direction. We usually label our number lines with little tick marks to keep track of where numbers are. If we were to center our number line at 0, we'll label that center mark with 0. Then going to the left would be towards the negative numbers. And going to the right would be towards positive numbers. We typically label our number line with integers, so we can go one at a time for each tick mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4 towards the positive side. And going to the negative, -1, -2, -3, and -4. These would be the positions on our number line of all these integers. However, it's important to keep in mind that our number line covers all real numbers, not just the integers we have labeled. For example, even just between two integers like 0 and 1, we could keep trying to take halfway points. Halfway between 0 and 1 would be 1/2. Halfway between 0 and 1/2 will be 1/4. Then halfway between 0 and 1/4 will be 1/8. And we could keep doing that forever. And this just goes to show there are an infinite number of points on our number line, even just between two integers. Another thing we often use our number lines for is to visualize the solutions to an equation. For example, if we have solved an equation for a solution x equals 4, we represent that solution on our number line with a point at the position of 4. Another useful property of the number line is that we can use it to visually find what numbers are bigger or smaller than other numbers. When we're looking at our number line, smaller numbers are towards the left, while bigger numbers are towards the right. If we wanted to see which is the bigger number between 3 and 1, obviously we know that 3 is bigger than 1, but we can also see that here as it is located more towards the right on our number line. Where this really helps us visualize things is with the negative numbers. If we thought about comparing -4 and -2, looking at our number line, we see that -4 is more towards the left and -2 is more towards the right. So -4 is actually the smaller number, while -2 is the bigger number. So we can see from our number line, whichever is the more negative number is actually the smaller number. When relating smaller and larger numbers symbolically, we make use of the following inequality symbols. The greater than symbol looks like this. The less than symbol looks like this. The greater than or equal to symbol looks like our greater than symbol, but with an extra line under it. Then our less than or equal to symbol looks like our less than symbol, but with an extra line under it. We use these symbols to relate the size of two numbers or expressions. If we wanted to relate two numbers, a and b, then how we would write a greater than b would look like this. If we said a is less than b, it would be written like this. One way to remember the direction of these symbols is that our point of the symbol always points towards the smaller number. Meanwhile, the symbol opens up towards the bigger number. Another amusing way to try to remember the direction is to think of these symbols as a mouth. And the mouth always wants to eat the bigger number. Let's try using the correct symbol to relate the numbers 8 and 3. If we wrote these two numbers with 8 on the left and 3 on the right, what symbol should go in the middle? From our everyday understanding of numbers, we realize that 8 is the bigger number of these two, so our symbol should open up towards the 8. And this symbol is the greater than sign. So if we read this, it would be 8 is greater than 3, which is correct. Meanwhile, if we wrote the 3 on the left and the 8 on the right, what symbol would go in the middle? Again, 8 we still realize is the bigger number, so our symbol should open up towards the 8. So this relationship would read as 3 is less than 8, which is correct. Now let's think about using these symbols to relate the numbers -1 and -2. If it's tough to think about which is the greater of these numbers, let's go back to our number line. If we label it 0 here, going to the left would be our negative numbers like this. By doing this, we can see which number is more towards the left, which would be the smaller number, and which is more towards the right, which would be our bigger number. From this, we see that -1 is more towards the right of these two numbers, meaning -1 is our larger number. So if I wrote -1 on the left and -2 on the right, what should go in the middle here? Well, as we just saw, -1 is the bigger number, so our symbol should open up towards the bigger number. And here we have -1 is greater than -2. Conversely, if we wrote -2 on the left and -1 on the right, what should go in the middle? -1 is still our larger number, so our symbol will open up towards that. And we get -2 is less than -1. On the surface, these inequality symbols seem like a simple way to relate smaller numbers and larger numbers. However, they also end up being a powerful tool to express a continuous range of solutions. We will discuss this more in depth next time. Until then.